Sam with jbugs.com. Now that the engine for our 1971 Eurolook Super Beetle has had some run time, we'll get the carburetor better tuned for it. The biggest issue we've seen so far is that there's a small backfire if the accelerator lever is opened quickly. Other than that, once the mixture and idle screws are dialed in, we've been very happy with the performance of the carburetor. The small backfire tells us that the carburetor is running a bit lean on the top end. Another minor issue we can see when operating the carburetor with the engine off is at near throttle that the accelerator pump linkage touches the alternator. This prevents the carb from being able to go full throttle, and that just won't do. So off comes the carburetor. We grind the pump arm down where it was contacting the alternator and test fit the carb to verify that it no longer hits. With the clearancing done, we check and note the adjustments of the mixture screws. The front primary idle screw is at 2 turns out, and the back secondary screw is at 1 turn out. In general, if you're between 1/2 and 1.5 turns out, the idle jet is the correct size. In our case, the secondary bevel jet is fine, but we were out too far on the primary idle jet, so we'll bump it up 1 size. The primary idle jet is attached to a threaded screw to the right of the choke. With the screw removed, the .45 jet is pulled off and replaced with a .50 jet and threaded back in place. Then we set the mixture screw below at the baseline 1 turn out. With the idle jets taken care of, we'll address the main jets, and to access them, we'll remove the top plate of the carburetor and set it aside along with the top gasket. The gasket is reusable as long as it isn't torn or dried out. Inside the flow bowl at the very bottom are the 2 main jets, 1 for each barrel. Both of the jets are unthreaded. We verify the sizes at 145 and swap them each out for a 1 size larger 150 jet. The top plate and gasket are reinstalled, and the carburetor is reinstalled. We head back outside with the engine to run it and test the new jet sizes. With the engine running, we check the primary idle screws first by turning them in until the engine starts to stumble. Then we turn the screws out, a 1/4 turn at a time. The engine RPM increases, and the engine will start to run smoother. We continue turning the screw out until the RPM starts to drop again. Then we turn the screw back to the highest RPM point, where the engine sounded the smoothest. We double check the secondary mixture screw using the same method, and it was exactly where it needed to be. We reset the idle screw at the carb linkage, and again adjust it until the engine idles at about 850 to 900 RPM. With the carburetor tuned, we'll go through and double check the timing to make certain we're at 30 degrees fully advanced. With the timing set and the carb dialed in, we can note that the larger jetting has eliminated the backfire. Then the engine is shut off, and we check the primary screw position, and it is exactly 1 turn out, right in the middle of the adjustment range where we want it to be. We'll repeat the engine run cycles while we vary the RPM for a total run time of about 3 hours before we drain the oil again. Then we'll pull the engine down to the long block, we'll paint all the engine tin and other accessories, we'll check the torque on the cylinder heads, and then reassemble all the components. Then we can set the engine aside so we can get to work on the car itself. Until then, check out some of our other videos, say hello in the comments below, or check out jbugs.com where we've got thousands of parts for your vintage VW.